Stephen Good on KOR, the sports store here. The great Andre Berto, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Always like a sharp man. Man, we got, Puerto Rico versus Mexico. Obviously, being in boxing, that is a great rivalry, but this one doesn't have the maybe the meat on the bone that maybe like, Sanchez and Wilfredo Gomez had, right? Like maybe Trinidad, like, De La Hoya, right? Like, why is that? Why doesn't it happen?
I mean, you have, one fighter that has tremendous pedigree, like Canelo, and I think Berlanga, he's still very, as a young in his career, somewhat. And he just doesn't have the same type of, pedigree or even just the type of fighters that Canelo has fought. So, of course, it was very easy to see that it doesn't have the same meat on the bone for that, for that sense in general. But like I say, it's like Mexico, Puerto Rico, rivalry is always big. But like I said, Canelo's a huge favorite.
Okay, like you said, Canelo's fought everybody.
Yeah, and those other rivalries, it was like this. It was like this. A lot of those other rivalries, like you just don't know who's going to win.
Like you said, Canelo's fought everybody, Hall of Fame career if he wanted to end it now. But right now, the guy to beat is David Benevidez, right, in and around his weight class. And he, obviously he's not scared. He's said what it is. He wants to get paid for it.
Yeah, for sure.
Does his legacy hurt by not facing a David Benevidez, or is this he already?
No, I don't think it hurts. I mean, he's fought, like I say, countless world champions, but I believe that Canelo's at a point of his career that he feels like, listen, I fought everybody, now I can call the shots, and it's always going to be a little young dog that they want to see me fight. So I think he's in that space of just feeling like he doesn't want to do what everybody wants him to do. He wants to do what he wants to do. And he believes that he has earned his right to do so, which a lot of other people do too.
How much longer has he earned it for, would you say?
I mean, I think it's hard to say. I believe it's hard to say, especially, talking about somebody like Canelo. He's going to always feel like that he has earned it until he probably retires. So, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure at this point. But if it's not, Benevidez, I know people are going to want to see him fight Crawford. So, like I said, we're going to have to see.
I was just about to bring up Crawford. I know you. I remember last time I saw you two together. You guys kind of going back and forth, real friendly. You know what I mean? He not struggled. It was a tough fight against a tough opponent against Israel Madrimov, but it wasn't the dominant Crawford we saw against Earl Spence, right? So I think people kind of are like, "Well, you fought the best of Earl Spence." Kind of took care of that easily, and this was a tougher one. Are they putting too much emphasis on the weight, or is it the fighter was good?
I mean, the fighter was good. That's the thing that they don't realize. The fighter was good. I mean, just because, he did what he did to Spence, they just expect him to be just this machine that just rip through everything, after that. That's just not how the game works, bro. That's not how the game works. You put on a tremendous performance against Spence. You went up a whole other weight class just because everybody didn't know who the guy was. But if you look at his pedigree, his background, he's a tremendous fighter. And he's a fighter that sits at 154. He's a proper 154. You know what I mean? So you have to give him some grace in that sense. But these fight fans, they don't give you any grace, so they're going to think what they want to think.
They're a little unforgiving for sure. But because, Israel was a great fighter at 154, Canelo's a Hall of Fame fighter at 168, right?
Yeah.
Does that change
it's going to be a tough
maybe
fight.
The way you thought of that fight?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough fight. And I seen the interview that Canelo was saying the same. Canelo was like, okay, you calling me out, but, you see, what it feels like just at 54. You can see that you didn't, you couldn't have your way like you did. Of course, it'll be an act of Crawford, testing himself to be great, to try to fight Canelo at 68. But I believe Canelo, after seeing Crawford's last performance, I think he's more willing to probably try to make that fight happen. But like I said, we'll see.
Well, why do you think it's more willing before when he was a 47-pounder before,
It's just how the fight game is, bro. If you see a guy that's a terror at 150, at 147, you may sit back and probably doubt the fact of why you should fight him. But if you see him go up to 54 and he kind of shows a little bit of a struggle, you know, kind of gives you a little bit more confidence. Like, okay, if he comes up to 68, it's going to be way too much for him, and maybe we can make it happen. So like I say, it's all a strategy game, you know, when it comes to this fight game, man. So and it's all about negotiation, brother. That's it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it just gets to a point where just the best fight the best, right? I mean, that's what we want, right? Just the best fighting the best. Andre, man, appreciate your time, sir. Thank you so much. Tell the fans what you're up to these days.
Man,
where they can follow you.
I mean, some of everything. Definitely follow me on my social outlets. Yeah, I'm at Andre Berto on Instagram, Twitter, whatever the case may be. Definitely gonna be able to see me a lot more on the All the Smoke podcast and a lot of other, you know, as I said, like platforms with All the Smoke. We got some other shows coming out too, which should be dope too. So everybody stay down there for sure.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time.